Okay, so this is going to be my last video for a while, or at least this series, because quite frankly, I haven't edited the other two that um, have come out. So if you're watching this, I filmed all three of these videos like back to back to back, and then over like the span of 5 days or something like that, and I haven't edited a single one. So that's the kind of a issue that I've run into over the years is I just stack so many videos together, and then the time comes to edit them, and it's just a mountain of work to do to catch up on. So I think I'm gonna get on editing those right now. And sometimes these things go really smooth, and sometimes they don't. So I think these three videos will go pretty smooth. I'll just try to get them out, and you know, try to get them out as fast as possible, and not get too artsy fartsy with them. Especially since the footage is probably I didn't spend a whole lot of time setting up shots or anything like that. So one thing that I did discover after putting the new strings on, doing 100 shots, and then putting my peep in after I finally that whole thing was weird where it twisted around. I don't know whether the strings relaxing made it not a good fit, but then once I just flipped it around, tied it back in, it hasn't moved since, and it's been dead on. It's awesome. One of the things that I found after I put in the peep, my zero changed. My 20-yard zero changed, so I had to move the sight tape, and then my 20-yard pin was good, and I backed out to 40 next to my, or in my driveway, and it was bang on. Other than that, I've done nothing with the sight tape, nothing at all. I've kind of saved it for today, for some of the shots that I'm going to take today. I'm gonna try to go out to 120 today. See if the sight tape is on. If it's relatively on at 100 yards, I'll roll with it, because the thing about me is that I'm not a good enough shot to tell if my 100, if it's left or right, low or high, is because the sight is off, or because it's me, which it is most definitely me. But sometimes my 100's right on, and sometimes it's a foot low, and I don't know what it is. So when you go out to 60, it's fine. But when you go out to 100, I don't like to necessarily change my tape, because one day I came out here and I was hitting a foot low at 100 yards, because that could absolutely 100% be me. And I know a lot of guys out here who kind of do that. Is they say, well, I was on last week, so it must be my sight tapes off. It's like, no, like I don't think so. I don't like to do a whole lot of tinkering. I will allow myself a tinkering window when I put new strings on my bow, because I'm gonna have to move the sight anyways, probably. I'm gonna have to put some twists in cables to get it to tune, and then that's when I play around with peep height, because you have to put your peep back in your new string, so you might as well make it as comfortable as possible. That's my tinkering window. And then maybe about a month after I've done it and I've got everything dialed in, I don't like to change anything, because after that, I feel like it's all me, myself, and I being the variable, not what's on this thing. So that's my tinkering window for my bow. I don't like to change a whole lot, but I did have to move the sight tape down just a little bit on here. But when I went out to 40 yards, and I saw down the window of my alley beside my house, whatever these new strings are doing, and it could be because maybe it just wasn't tuning very well. The arrows just look so straight. They look like they're going so straight compared to what they were. It wasn't off by a lot, but they just look so much better flight than my old strings. And that could be because I wasn't afraid to, you know, put a couple twists in here and there. And I kind of reset the bow to where it should have been coming out of the factory, out of the box. So maybe it's that. I've also been playing around with my grip a little bit, and I think that's helped as well. But it's shooting really well, and I am very, very comfortable right now. I mentioned before that when I first got this bow, I knew it was going to be a good bow, but I knew it was going to feel a little bit different than my Echelon. The problem with that is that my Echelon is so perfect for me. It is the perfect setup. It's the perfect bow for me. Like I don't even have to think about it. It's so perfect. I can go from any bow back to the Echelon and still shoot lights out with the Echelon. There's no learning curve that I have to take to shoot well with the Echelon. So I knew that when I got this bow, it temper your expectations a little bit. You're going from the best bow that you've ever had. For me, there are better bows out there, newer bows out there, but it's the best bow for me. To a bow that you've never shot before, and it feels just a little bit different, but it still has the same elite qualities that I personally like. But after I changed the strings, it feels different in a very good way. Everything is rock solid. I just feel like my shot is better. And I did lengthen the D loop on it compared to my other strings. And I honestly think that might be making all the difference in the world. Just that like quarter of an inch length is I don't know. Everything feels a million times better. I don't think it's because of the actual new strings. I don't think there's anything about that that's different. I just think that everything right now, setting this bow back up, is just different in a better way. I feel rock solid with it, and it feels really, really fucking good. So, anyways, 20 pin is good, 30 pin is good, 40 pin is good. I'm going to try to go out to 60. These targets are not very good, so I'm going to have to pick a spot to shoot at. But I'm going to try to go out to 120 yards today and see what happens. And, well, my sight tape only goes to 100 yards. So we'll go out to 100 yards and then see if I can even get 120 with this bow, which I'm not necessarily concerned about 120 yards with this bow because this is my hunting rig. Pinky, the Echelon, is my my indoor, my 3D, and all of that. And it's my tack bow as well. So, or tack, or outdoor 3D target tournament bow. Because I can get that thing out to a ridiculous like 125 yards without even sneezing. So this thing, I'm not necessarily worried about getting it out to 120 yards because there's no way that I'm gonna, unless it's a moose, out to 120 yards, and even then, I mean, just because it's such a large fucking animal, that your distance sort of gets, all wonky and stuff like that because it's such a large target. But this thing, I'm really only worried about it out to 90 yards, to be brutally honest with you, because that's all that I would even ever possibly conceive taking. I wouldn't if you can get to 100 yards, you can get to 90, you can get to 80, or it wasn't meant to be. So let's see if I'm still as comfortable as I was the other day with this thing, because it was like a night and day difference. But this thing looks the new strings look really good. I changed this the limb driven rest string to yellow, so it sort of matches my D loop, and it looks so good right now. But Other than that, I haven't really had to change anything except move my sight down. I have not had to change the pin gap. Shouldn't have had to. It's sitting at 72.5 pounds, which doesn't really bother me. The day after I shot 100 arrows in less than an hour, I was kind of sore, but nowhere near as sore as I have been shooting other 70-pound bows. And then the day after that, I was completely fine. So this continues to be the smoothest 70-pound bow I've ever had. It's probably a little bit slower than some other bows that are out on the market right now, but that's fine with me as long as it tunes really well, as long as I'm really comfortable with it. So I've gone the speed bow route and didn't like it. So as long as this thing can, I mean, it's still at 296 with a 411 grain arrow. So I'll that's fine with me. I don't care. So let's go out to 60 yards right now and see if it's on. And then we'll go from there. There's like a little stick figure on that cotton bale out there. And we're just going to shoot at that because that's a teeny target. $62. 62. I think I'm high and a little bit left. Let's see if I calm down on this shot. Looks like it's right on. Looks like a little bit left. Where the rest of my arrows went. I had more. Oh, I know where they went. They're still downrange. That's why. So, I can tell you that back home, it was just ever so slightly left. So if these are going just a little bit left, that's fine. I can make that adjustment. And they've been going left for a couple of days now. So if they're just a little bit left, that's fine. Stick figure guy used to have like a penis target on him. So I was aiming in the center here, and that's just a little bit left, and that one's high. So, all right, had to take a short break to talk to Brian, but pulled my arrows a little bit left, just as I thought. So I'm just gonna adjust just a little bit, and I always have to. Let's see what that does. There is a black dot down there. on that right target that I'm going to aim for. 62. That looks like it was right on. We'll see. But that shot felt so good. It was just like the pin was just floating ever so slightly, but that doesn't really bother me. That one might be a little bit left. I think I pulled that. That one felt good. One more. Whatever happens, happens. A little bit shaky on that one, but that's fine. Okay, let's go look. I am really happy with the way this thing's shooting right now. So it feels way different. And I think it has a lot to do with that D loop, but I think it has a lot to do with the strings as well. I don't know what kind of difference that would make, but okay. So I was aiming at this. This was my last shot. So yeah, up there. Last shot. I don't know. That's within my accuracy, not expectations, but my limitations. Because again, I don't think I'm that good of an archer. I think I am probably the most consistent out of our group here at Southwest Bowhunters and down in Yuma. I can go toe to toe with any of those motherfuckers. Love you guys, but I can go toe to toe with any of them any day. And I think I have less bad days than they do. But that's within my accuracy expectations. So what was that like? It was probably an 8-inch group with that one that I pulled high at 60 yards. That I hate to say it, but that's just what it is for me. That's my accuracy limitations at 60 yards. So extrapolate that out to 100 yards, and there you go. But it looked right on. My sight tape was at 62, and the rangefinder said 62. So sight tape appears to be right on. So we're gonna go to, fuck it, let's go out to 100 yards, see what happens. Oh, by the way, it is 107 degrees out right now, so there's that, in case you were wondering. That's exactly 1 hundo on my rangefinder. We're looking at the bale with the red dot. Dial to 100. See what happens. Felt very steady about that one. This thing just feels so much more steady. No idea where it's going, but I know it's hitting. I know it's hitting the target. That was my most comfortable shot. That one was a little shaky, but so I think the biggest difference is just the pin settling down right now for me, where it just wasn't doing that. Like I went to Bow Disciples, great shoot by the way, it's fucking awesome. And I was there for I think 5 days, and I brought both the Exalt and the Echelon with me, and I don't know what it was. The Exalt just didn't feel as I just wasn't as comfortable with it as I would have liked. So yeah, so I didn't do very well with the Exalt, and then I switched to Pinky because I was just like, whatever. And then everything just came back together and it was awesome. So I used Pinky for most of Bow Disciples, and had a great weekend with it. But okay, this is actually not bad. 4 arrows. And when you look at the center of this group, so right here, it's what? 6 inches high? And this is where I can't really tell if it's me or the sight tape that's off. But to be brutally honest with you, I'll take this every single time. Yeah, I'll take this group every single time because I'm not that good of an archer. So at 100 yards, I'll take that every single time. And that's where you have to know your limitations. But I'm gonna do one more shot, one more group of 4 arrows at 100 yards, and see what happens. Because I just want to confirm that, because if it's like that, I'm not going to move my sight tape at all. There would be some people who would. I am not one of those people. That's perfectly fine with me. Perfectly fine with me. So not bad. One more group of 4 at 100 yards. I'm feeling really comfortable and really confident with this thing right now. All right. We're gonna do this real quick because I think my phone's about to overheat. My camera will last actually quite a lot longer than my phone will in this heat. So we're gonna get this done real quick. Actually, nope, that was right on. So let's see. Group number 2, 100 yards. Here comes the wind. Even in that wind, it was still pretty steady. And as long as my pin is going back to the center every time, I don't normally worry about where my pin tends to float. That one felt really good. So did that one. Is that 3? Yeah, that's 3. That one, not so much. Let's do a 5th. That one was really shaky, but that's okay. I think shooting with a hinge has really helped me fight through that shit when the pin is going all over the place with the wind. Just being able to have the confidence to just keep rotating that release and keep pulling into your back wall and basically saying, like, I don't care where the pin is, as long as it's not off the target, it'll always come back to the same, it'll always cross the center at the same spot. So and I've got my own opinions. Maybe I'll make a video about pin float and stuff like that with my own rantings that may or may not be correct, but just what I've experienced with the hinge has definitely helped me be okay with the fact that your pin might not always be steady. So just deal with it, and as long as it's floating back to the same spot, like, everything's going to be fine. You know, you're going to execute a good shot. It's going to be fine. And look at that. Again, I'm not the best archer in the world. Here's my hand. So that is, what, a 2-foot group? You know, this, if you took this one out, which obviously everybody wants to do, but like, I mean, that's, I hate to say it, but that's kind of exactly what I want. And you know, that is what I'm capable of right now. That is my limitation of, or expectation and limitation of accuracy. That group right there. Believe it or not, a 2-foot group at 100 yards. Some people may not like that, but I'm entirely good with that, because I've had groups before where, you know, you've got one arrow on one side of the target, one arrow on the other. So to have 4 arrows right there like that at 100 yards, I'm completely and totally pleased with that. And you know what? That's, I heard somebody recently say, comparison is the death of progress. So if you start comparing yourself to, like, the best possible archers or other people, you're always going to be a failure. So that right there is what I was, literally what I was hoping for today. And that's what I got. So that was it was a massive success. I mean, all I had to do was, I was hitting a little bit left, which I thought I was coming out of the practice at my house. Thought I was hitting a little bit to the left, and I was. So I came out to 60 yards. I was hitting a little bit left, and if you take the center of that 2-foot group, it's right there. It's right there. I don't think I need to move left or right anymore, and I'm very comfortable at 100 yards with this bow now. I'm never going to shoot it probably as good as my Echelon, but I don't think I shoot anything as well as that Echelon. So that's what I want out of this bow. That's what I was hoping to get. And very, very successful couple of videos. Getting my bow restrung, getting everything. Arrows look like they're flying very well. Color looks sexy as fuck. And out to 100 yards, I didn't have to change my sight tape. That's literally the dream. So, I think that's it for me for today and this series of videos. I'm going to edit these, try to edit all these together and make it a 3-part series. Sorry, they're long, but whatever. I kind of like to make long form content anyways. So that's kind of my bag. I don't think I'm ever going to change that. Because that's the way I function. That's what I like to do. Stay hydrated. It's what I like to do, long form content. I don't think I'll ever change. So let me know in the comments what you guys think, or what personally to you is successful when you go to the range to like 100 yards or something like that. What are you expecting? Is it a certain group size? Is it how you feel shooting the bow? Is it just getting reps in? Like, what is success to you as an archer whenever you go to the range? Because I can tell you right now, that's my idea of success. Getting to the range, getting your bow sighted in and having a group like that, plus everything about the bow feels like it's working as like an extension of your body. That is literally all I can ask as an archer. I don't go by group sizes anymore, even though I just did that. But I mean, I've had better groups than that at 100 yards, but everything feels good. That is my expectation or limitation of accuracy, and I'm hitting it right after I put new strings on, without having to change my sight tape. That's like, that is the definition of happiness for me. So I'm gonna go home with a big smile on my face, work on my house, maybe drink a beer or something like that, because it's been a damn fine day. Let me know in the comments what you deem as success in archery, whether it's comparing to other people, getting 1% better every day, or you have a certain specification for what you deem as success, whether it be group size, something like that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.